the
We're live,
good
buddy.
evening.
I'll be right back.
Well, I was gonna. Well, everybody, good evening. I guess we're jumping right into this. I mean, let me play this really quick and get a couple things out of the way. Hold on one second.
The first annual Maine Paranormal and Horror Con is coming to Maine on September 6th and 7th at the Augusta Civic Center. Come meet your favorite paranormal investigators, cryptid hunters, and horror icons. Special guests include John Zaffis, the haunted collector from Sci-Fi, Jeff and Willie from Mountain Monsters, Bob Elmore Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, CJ Graham, also known as Jason Voorhees from Jason Lives Part 6, Ronnie LeBlanc from Expedition Bigfoot, and many more to be announced. Tickets are on sale now. Go to mainparahorror.com to get your tickets and VIP packages now. For more information, check out Maine Paranormal and Horror Con on Facebook and Instagram.
All right. With that being said, I want to welcome everybody, and I don't know why I'm like this now. And Ian's here now. I don't know why we're like this, Ian. Oh, that's why.
I do. Childhood trauma.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, so guys, we missed an episode last week, and I'm very sorry about that. But we are back now, and we will continue to be back for the foreseeable future until Ian gets kicked out.
Get fucked.
Anyways, we'll run down.
I got back in,
and that's why I did not have to doubt that was you by seeing the profile picture.
All right, yeah. So I had to. So for those of you who know, I'm back on Facebook. I came back to Facebook not using a picture of myself, but a picture of Abraham Lincoln that says "Abolish slavery,"
which he is holding up to that Constitution right now.
Yeah, I don't have arms to be doing that either. Like, I don't have cut arms or anything. There's no reason.
They're bigger than mine.
Well, it's because you're fucking frail and tiny.
Hey, now.
Your little stick bug over there with a beard.
Hey.
But no, all right. So for those of you guys, I don't know if anyone noticed, but some of the reason why I took last week off, had a bit of a getting zucked situation. And I am back on the medias. Took a week off. It was actually kind of nice. I highly suggest it if anybody can do it. But I did end up popping back on. Yeah. So yeah, I got ironically enough bumped off of Facebook off of an accusation that I was an arms dealer. So
sun's out, guns out.
Yeah, buddy.
Are we gonna get kicked off Facebook and everything because we're watching? We're commenting from the Get Moderated page as well.
Shouldn't be. No. That's on YouTube. That's
okay,
YouTube.
All right.
YouTube has no problem with me. Yeah, YouTube's totally fine with it. But yeah, so we should have some sponsors to go over real quick. Yeah.
Let's knock out some sponsors here real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick and in a hurry.
Yeah. Boom. Done.
All right, cool. Small town.
So Warner Paranormal guys, you know it. You hear us talk about it every time. Russ and I are both part of the Warner Paranormal Preservation Society, based out of Rockland, Massachusetts. We have a few locations under our purview. We actually have a pretty exciting event coming up that we're looking to share. Got to get everything finalized on it, but check us out at warnerparanormal.com. You can check us also on Instagram, and I believe Matt has us on TikTok now. And of course, Facebook, as always.
As always.
I'll let you do the next one.
All right. If it it's not letting me go. Oh, what the fuck?
I got you. Oh,
it is just not working for me tonight. Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. This would be Ian's wife. She tries to keep a stranglehold on him, but she can't control everything he does on Facebook. Such a fantastic photographer. She just had a International Women's Day event going on at her studio on Saturday, and I heard that it was absolutely amazing and successful for her. I know I say this the easiest way possible, fearless leader went and got himself a nice little head tattoo.
He always
Again,
gets the face tattoos and stuff, though. So
always.
yeah,
So, but she does some great work. If you're in the New England area, even if you're not, she travels if it's an enticing enough shoot. And I'm by enticing, I mean something she wants to do creative and idea wise.
okay. Well, let's go easy on the traveling. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's able to set up some stuff in Virginia and everything. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I
she
think that,
has the big castle thing coming up where she's
yep,
rented out this old historic castle. Um, and it's a ladies' trip. I think she has 8 or 9 ladies going down with her. And they're going to be doing shoots over the weekend on this massive castle ground with gardens and topiaries and things like that all over there. It's going to be pretty amazing. What are you drinking there, bud?
that'd be some cold brew coffee.
Oh, me too. Me too. I'm doing coffee tonight, guys, so I'm
I
not
am
going to be
too.
as red faced.
I'm not going to be belligerent, and we'll actually maybe stay on point here tonight. Mainstream media. That's another shout out to Jeff Whittam. That's another company he just started. Some great promoting and everything like that. He's done wonders with our show. Get moderated. This is more on you. Are you planning on making a triumphant return, or
So we have a couple of things coming up. We're going to be on an episode of one of my competitors this Thursday, so I will not be live. But that will be the last week that I am not live. So as of the 19th, I believe, or 20th, Get Moderated will be back and in full swing to discuss a lot more of the science and pseudoscience behind a lot of the paranormal and odd things. So definitely give us a check out. Nothing
AC?
coffee
I
tonight.
am behaving.
Caramel and a splash of milk.
I am behaving tonight. I just have straight
Caramel, caramel.
breakfast.
That's a
Yeah,
fight. That's a fight we should do. We're going to talk to our guest later
caramel or
about
caramel.
is it
Yeah,
caramel or caramel? Because that's a critical thing that is plaguing our community.
it really is. Small Town Productions, Larry Eisler III. Some great work on video. I should stop holding my coffee so close to my mouth. By the way, Ian, side note real quick, but while I still have it on my head because ADHD over here. I got my package of coffee. Did you get your package of coffee?
I did.
Okay.
It's quite nice. I was not expecting it. We'll do a little plug for them later.
Well, I still got to do my unboxing. I already opened a box and saw what they sent me, but I kind of want to do a little unboxing, give them a shout out and everything like that. So,
Yeah, no,
but
absolutely. I love doing opening boxes at your house.
Jesus.
How's the wife doing, by the way?
In bed waiting for you.
I knew she would be.
Anyways, Small Town Production, Larry Elsie III. Go ahead and check him out. He's doing a bunch of events this year. He'll be in Gettysburg this year. He will actually be perfect segue, perfect transition. He will be at the 2025 Maine Paranormal and Horror Con.
I thought you were going to say he was going to be in your bedroom later. I'm not going to lie. You were talking about a perfect segue. I was like, oh, all right. Looks like I got competition for Russ's wife.
He will be at the Maine Paranormal and Horror Con coming September 6th and 7th to the Augusta Civic Center in Augusta, Maine here.
So there's going to be at least one place he and I have been together because we're going to be there as well, right?
2. He was in Gettysburg last year with you.
Oh, I thought we were going to go back to your bedroom. All right.
Oh, well, I mean,
I didn't realize he was in Gettysburg. Perfect.
Well, I don't know what happened in Gettysburg last year, so I mean,
could have been 3. Who knows?
Could have been.
She'll remember.
Will she? Anyways, guys, ticket prices are up here online right now. They are selling very fast. VIP with the party, and it is a catered dinner with going to be music and all the celebrities. Rub elbows with everybody. $120 for the pass for the week for the with the party.
And I gotta say it again: $60 a head for the dinner and full VIP access for the party. That is silly cheap. I know for those of us that are out there, and I don't know how many folks have partners out there that are watching, but if you go out to dinner and you're able to drop less than $100 on dinner, you're probably hitting up Applebee's or something. You're doing the whole single dad Friday.
The 2 for $20.
Yeah, like $60 a head for a decent meal around a good group of people at a party situation and a VIP situation, that is ridiculously cheap. You check out, we've had a litany of like the Comic Cons and Nostalgia Cons as of late.
Yes,
You
sir.
look at the pricings on those, the VIPs on those are like $150 a day, and they're not giving you food. You'll be lucky to get a bottle of water. So the pricing on this is absolutely lower. I think it's lower than it should be. And if you're not taking advantage of the full experience, I think you just kind of, you're missing an opportunity there.
And Jeff and Ashley did a phenomenal pricing on this event. So, I mean, kudos to them. And they are selling very, very quick. I believe Jeff and them are about to launch the room blocks for the hotels and everything for the event and whatnot. I know they've been diligently working on a couple of those. But anyways,
I fully anticipated sleeping in my car. All right.
Oh, no. There's actually a hotel that is actually right in the parking lot as the Civic Center. And it's literally, you walk right across. And from what I heard, it's attached to an IHOP.
Oh, I'm not going to make it across. I'm going to shamble my way into that IHOP at 3 a.m. That's going to be awesome.
I would not expect any less, honestly.
Let's get an unlimited stack and just keep them coming until the sun comes up.
That's how you're going to work off the
sober
alcohol.
up by noon.
That's how you're going to work off the alcohol. You're not even going to sleep. You'll just eat pancakes.
Yeah, the body will figure it out. All right.
So let's say hi to everybody in the chat room real quick. We got
Stacy, Damien,
Candy Slater just popped in. Hey,
Janice,
Candy Slater.
Am I saying that right?
Janice. Yeah, that's what I was just trying to pronounce. You know, we got Candy in the chat room. She's running a great event in October. I believe October 4th. It is the Rock Island Esoteric Expo.
Tell me more, Russell.
Sponsored by Get Haunted, our lovely people we have going on over here. Also, if I had the list of people in front of me, it would be absolutely insane. Candy, if you want to share the link in the chat room, or I can pull it up once we get into conversation here. But definitely check that event out. Is being over in Illinois. So definitely awesome thing to check out. So with that being said, why don't we move right on to our guest? You know, everybody knows him. He's been on the show multiple times. He's a fan favorite, always a great conversation. So let's welcome on Nate Elwell.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
What's going on, sir? What's going on?
You know, another day in the neighborhood.
Just a regular Monday.
Absolutely. It felt like a Monday. I can promise you that.
Well, you know what?
Fact.
At least we didn't have the time change on a Monday.
True.
At least we had 11 hours to get used to it for a little bit.
You're never used to it. Once you lose that hour, and then the hour comes back in the fall, and you're like, "Thank God for that extra hour," and then it goes away again. It's like a tease.
Yep.
I know. I've never. I guess it's because I don't maintain like a regular sleep cycle.
No, I don't either.
Really
but
it's never really phased me. So it's like I don't do the circadian thing. I don't do the 4 hours a night deal. Like I fall asleep when I fall asleep, and then I begrudgingly wake up whenever the fuck I begrudgingly wake up, if I wake up.
Unfortunately, I have to begrudgingly wake up at 5:15 every morning for work. So,
oh jeez. No thanks. I did that. I did my time in that round for years doing construction and contracting.
Yeah, being in bridge work. So yeah.
Ooh. So you are absolutely the most hated form of traffic.
Yeah,
I think.
Unfortunately, although I will say we've accomplished a few things. We rebuilt an interstate over I-95 in a little bit less than 8 weeks, which was a phenomenal. We just finished the Portal North Bridge there in New York, and we've also we also built the Tappan Zee Bridge.
Ian doesn't look impressed.
No. No, time out. The Tappan Zee Bridge is impressive. Doesn't mean I like it.
No, it's a horrible bridge, in my opinion.
However, though, if you're heading south, Tappan Zee is the way to go. I mean, you can hit the Tri-Borough and deal with the bullshit, but the Tappan Zee is, I think it's like up to $9 now.
Something like that.
Yeah.
We avoid the Tappan Zee, or not the Tappan Zee, the GW at all costs. We always
The GW is like 35.
Yeah, we reroute the Tappan Zee every time we go that way.
Yeah, the GW is absurdly priced.
Yeah, see, I helped build that bridge. I cut probably 65% of the steel on the CNC machine. I personally cut 65% of the steel that went to that bridge.
Oh shit!
I programmed the machine now. I'm no longer on the floor running it. I'm a programmer now. But yeah, it's an interesting job. That's for sure.
Just a lot of triangles, I'd imagine, right? No.
Not as many as you would think. I would love it if that was the case.
If I'm remembering 8th grade shop class correctly, bridges are just a bunch of triangles.
Oh, I would love it if that was the case.
All right, so
really,
yeah, all right, there you go. Yeah, all right.
Warner, it's the sleeveless shirt, isn't it? That's what does it for you.
It is. It's a sleeveless. He hates it when I go sleeveless. Like, it's because it makes him feel things. It's okay.
He hates you because he ain't you.
They hate us because they ain't us.
All right, Nate, let's kick the show off in the best possible way we can.
You're good. Matt Warner's comment threw me for a loop there. That was good.
No, this is how it's going to be the entire show. I can guarantee you. So
Nate, you've experienced Russ either solo or with a different host.
Things will be a little bit different.
Yeah, I bring a little bit of a different air. Look at that. Look at that, Matt. Matt's got to be high.
He's
calling Russ sexy. He's got to be high.
Matt, it's 9:17. Don't hit that pen too early. Warner, how are Ian and I the sober ones?
Yeah. No, I'm drying out a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of time.
I'm doing the same thing myself.
That's good, man. That's good.
I'm doing the same thing.
So Nate, you know, what critical trauma life event do you want to discuss that's causing you to dry out like Russ and I?
That'd be one hell of a list.
Yeah, normally I don't bother.
Yeah, that would be way too much to list.
It's easier to bury than lift.
It is.
Yeah, there he is. He goes, I'm not low. Nice.
Half the time we actually half our conversations we have on the show is probably from a comment on the side over here, and we just run with it.
You know what? Sometimes shows like that sometimes work out the best because you never really know what's going to pop up, so you don't know where the conversation is going to go. So I'm here for it.
That's very true. I mean, Ian can be a jack in the box over there and just pop up out of nowhere.
Well, so kind of what I'll usually do is we'll be talking about some bullshit, and then I'll come with a real heavy question.
I'm good with that.
It just works like that. But I will say this, Nate. So Russ gave me a little bit of a background. You probably don't know me from a hole in the wall.
I've heard the name.
Okay, which is surprising. I'm relatively new to the community. I kind of float around and I'll do shows. I'm a bit of a loud personality, so people tend to ask me to do stuff. But I don't really know many folks in the community, right? And so Russ was kind of giving me a little bit of a breakdown, little bit of a debunk. You're a little bit of a debunker. You kind of go in, you do your own investigations as well. And you really focus more on the substance over the style of different investigations. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Ian, I will interject here for a second. You and Nate would get along perfectly because he does a lot of debunking on apps, equipment, things like that, how things work, everything like that, to see if it's actually providing us with actual scientific data that can be.
So what do you mean? The Ghostbox app on Apple Store isn't real?
I actually, a lot of my YouTube videos that I have is applications tests where I go and I download applications that are recommended for people. You know, they say, hey, try this, try this, try this. So I download it, I try it, and I tell it like it is. I run a screen record and I test the app from start to finish. I'm not only testing for functionality, but I'm testing for user friendliness as well. Because
Okay.
if it's an app that you want to use, say in an investigative style, you need to be able to open it quickly and it needs to function correctly. And a lot of times, what I find is a lot of these they have these loading screens and they just take forever to open. And by the time you get it open, guess what? Even if it was a viable tool, it's going to be too late to use it anyways.
Well, so to me, having an app take an extended period of time to open indicates to me there's a lot of background processes that are firing up.
It very well could be. Yep.
And that means there's probably some form of algorithm that's actually running up and revving up in order to be able to output certain data, which to
Right.
me speaks that there's preloaded data for it to output prior to you even opening the app.
And I
So,
concur.
so if you have an app that you can just open, fire up, no internet connection, no cell connection, anything like that, and it just clicks right on and starts running, to me that would lend a little bit more credibility.
Agreed.
Because there's no secondary data coming into the app.
And I do have a few of them that I have tested in the past. I'd have to go back and watch my previous tests to tell you which ones they were, because I've tested probably 50 or 60 of these things.
Yep.
There are a few of them that do fire up pretty quickly, and it would kind of seem to me as though they're not taking that time to look through your phone per se or formulate an algorithm, and they seem to work decently, but a lot of those, I can tell you that I do recall that a lot of them are the EMF detector apps. I don't trust them anyway. So,
well, I mean, you're holding an EMF,
right?
Yep.
So really, unless you're running some really significant filtering data and dampening data, you're not going to be able to get a viable read. Like that to me, like the idea that your phone, which arguably outside of your microwave is one of the largest day-to-day interactions with an EMF you have, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Ian, this brings up an experience that we had at the hall here where the EMF was going off right at the door frame of the ballroom, and you walked over and it would only respond to you.
Yeah. And now this is actually funny, Nate, is I actually stripped. Like, I took my watch off, put my phone on the other side of the room, removed all electronics, everything like that. That was when I wasn't allowed to leave the seat.
Correct.
And then we put a REM pod there, and we were getting REM pod heat spikes or cold spikes and also EMFs.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a spirit I connect to at our Stuff Hall.
And it just happens to be a little boy
with the same name as my son.
With the same name as your son.
Which is, it's pretty cool. But yeah, as far as the apps go, I mean, so for me, I don't think I would ever go into an investigation taking an app credible at all. Like, I just, that's me, to each their own.
Yeah,
I think
you really can't, as a credible explorer or a incredible explorer, a credible investigator, be like, oh, well, my cell phone app said so.
Well, and that's the thing, right? So I don't understand the programming behind it. I don't see the code behind the application. I don't see what data in, data out. I don't see any of that.
Right.
So, like, I can't rely on any of it. But also, I think that, I mean, I'm an asshole, so I get really judgy. But like, to me, that is a super clear indicator that you're really new. And if you are really new, I think it's a really cool thing for you to do, because it's going to give you that entertainment side of investigation that kind of fuels that startup of the actual, like, investigating side of it. Like, you have a couple of cool things, like you hear demon, fear, run, death.
Yeah,
Come through your cell phone a bunch of times.
I hate it when that happens.
Well, that's like 80% of the apps, in my opinion. Like, hate, death, pain, die. Like, it's always the negative stuff. And in reality,
there is one app that I've tested that I actually was impressed by. A lot of them I'm not. I'll tell you right now, a lot of them I'm not. But there is an app called the Ghost Hunter M2 app put out by a man named Michael Weber. And that app it's like $9.99. It's got almost 20 different tools in it. One of them, which I found really interesting, is a Lux scope. It actually measures the amount of light coming through your camera. So if you set it up in a dark room and anything that's emitting light passes by it, it will actually fluctuate on the screen.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I had never seen that in the device before. So I thought it was really interesting in how it worked. I could tell you that I shut off all the lights, and you can see it in my video. I shut off all the lights, and I shined a flashlight, and the more I dimmed it out or made the flashlight brighter, the lux scope would fluctuate.
Really? So that's interesting to me, because I wouldn't think that the hardware would be capable of that kind of application, like
You
that kind
wouldn't
of
think.
use. Oh, Damien, the difference between Android and iPhone is just the underlying operating system and how it interacts with it. It's all baseline code. To modify an iPhone app to Android app is actually not nearly as big a deal as people like it out to be. However, getting it released on an Android platform versus getting it on the iPhone App Store is much more difficult.
Yeah.
Sorry. Nate's
Which-
Nate's the expert here. I should defer.
No, you're good, because that was a perfect answer, actually. So
Yeah.
that was 100% spot on, perfect answer. And actually, by the end of 2025, I actually got contacted by my publisher this morning. I didn't realize it was my publisher, so I sent it to voicemail. But I have a book coming out by the end of 2025 called "Downloading for the Dead: Investigating Paranormal Applications." So
Pretty cool.
I've talked to a lot of the application manufacturers, the people who created them, try to figure out the ins and outs, how they claim that they work, so to speak.
Okay.
And you know, a lot of them were pretty straightforward. There were a few that refused to have it in their book. Like, I contacted them and they're like, "No, we don't want to be a part of this." And I'm like, "What? Do you not want to tell me how it works, or do you just not want to be a part of the work itself?" And they just basically refused to tell me how the software worked, which that's fishy to me.
Normally means they have something to hide.
Because there's preloaded data for it to pump out.
Yeah, and I can tell you that one of the other apps that I tested is a very simple name called Ghost Hunting Tools. Very simple, right? It's basically like a phonetic generator. When I went to Medfield State Hospital in Medfield, Massachusetts, I ran this application. Me and my daughter walked through the grounds and we ran the application. We went out for a father-daughter day, basically.
That's awesome.
And we went out, we walked the grounds. And mind you, when I research places like I research, this is my Medfield State Hospital research folder.
All right.
I have all of the hospital records from 1922 to 2004 when it closed. And when we ran this application, we got multiple names. And every time we got a name, I wrote it down. I was able to trace back those names back to either people that worked at the facility or are buried in the Medfield State Hospital cemetery.
Now, when you say you were getting names, I mean, this is obviously, it's more than like Mike, Steve.
Right.
So,
So it was weird because it would pop up with a first name and an initial.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, could I find someone that has a first name with said initial that's not that person that it's referring to? Yeah, possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's possible, but it does kind of, in a way, you know, lead you to wonder, is that really what it's referring to?
Yeah, I mean, something like that and again, so this is where like the huge skeptic comes through, right? Is you're running this on your phone.
Right.
Is your location services on?
I never have those on.
No?
I don't even have those on. The only time I have those on is if I'm traveling. That's it.
Okay. All right. So that, I mean, to me, that would be like the biggest avenue to debunk something like that, where like your location services are on and it's running just like an AI algorithm in the background to grab relevant geographic names.
Right. And it's one of those things where I won't even test apps that I cannot run when my phone's in airplane mode with the Wi-Fi off.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if I can't put it in airplane mode, if I put it in airplane mode and the app stops working, then I have no interest in testing it, because that tells me it's pulling from something.
Yeah, it's not pulling from your environment. It's pulling from a secondary source.
Yep, and there has been a few videos that has happened to me where I go to test an app, and as soon as I put it in airplane mode, it stops working. I'm like, huh? I take it out of airplane mode, it starts working again. I put it back in, and it stops. And I'm like, look, guys, I'm not even going to waste my time testing this.
Yeah.
Because
I know. I mean, what's the point? What's the point? The data is already contaminated. Like.
Yeah, because I know you said you're a huge skeptic. You know, a lot of people from my TikTok content think that I'm like an absolute skeptic. I'm a non-believer. I'm a firm believer, but I'm also a firm believer that people will fake anything to make a dollar. So
yeah, so that's actually, and I guess again to what Russ was saying about you and I getting along, that I'm in the same boat. Like, I 100% believe in the paranormal. I believe in ghosts. I've had experiences that I can't explain. I have like, and you know, whether they're ghosts, spirits, entities, consciousness, higher plane, lower plane. I don't know what the hell they are because I don't have the data. Um,
Yeah,
but
and unfortunately, we probably never will until we can create a device that will, legitimately give us some form of idea. Because we're pseudoscience. You can't take this, put it into a scientifically controlled environment, run a hypothesis, and get repeated results. Paranormal doesn't work that way.
Yep. So
So
I will argue it a little bit, right?
I'm
When
intrigued.
you're doing site investigations, so like one of the things I love about WPPS and what we're, the group we're in is like literally anytime I feel like it, I have access to a location that has activity. I can and have over the past 2 or 3 years run the same investigation method over and over and over again in the same spot in an attempt to get repeat results. There are 2 test methods and 2 locations in the hall that I am able to get repeat results. The problem is, and this is where I say, like, there are ways of pushing it very, very close to the scientific method and actually doing it in a scientific method. However, I would say the variance in result prevents you from getting a true scientific theory.
Okay, so so basically what you have here is
So,
you have certain rooms that will be your control. You're you're
correct.
you're you're running your exact test over and over again, but the variance is you're getting that variance factor.
Exactly. And so, like, if we were to pull it like truly into like a scientific method, I'm probably at like 3 standard deviations
Okay,
as opposed to an acceptable 2,
right.
right? And so I'm able to do one side of the room versus the other side of the room, one floor versus a different floor. And I'm able to use the same methods in each area where I'm getting no results, or I get such wild, erratic results that the control now becomes a random factor,
Right.
and the actual test has a more stable result.
Interesting.
Um, so there are ways.
I have full plans on going to the hall at some point this year. So
Yeah, just let us know, man. And I love letting people come in blind, because
I haven't told Nate much about the hall at all.
and you know
So
what? And I'm a good friend with Matt Warner. He'll actually be on my podcast next month. I'm a
oh,
good friend
nice.
with Matt. I've not even asked him any history on the hall because I prefer not to know. I like to go in and investigate, and then I do my research to see if what I find lines up.
Well, and like earlier when Russ was talking about the spirit that I connect with the most in the hall, I won't give the name. Like when
no,
people ask me, I'll give like a description or something like that, but I won't explicitly say the name, because in the event somebody comes to the hall, one of my favorite things is they usually come through. It is one of the most common things that come through in the hall,
yep.
and they almost always give their name.
Okay, so what I will ask is when I do get the opportunity to visit the hall, is there a specific piece of equipment that you would recommend I use that gets more results than others?
Um, it's so funny. Portals and spirit boxes usually work really well. But I will say Estes screams wildly ahead of everything else in the hall.
Okay.
One of my favorite things is I don't know how many of the Get Haunted folks you know.
I know Ross, I know Rob, I know Sarah.
Yep. So
I've
Danny,
just never met them
who's
personally yet.
yep. Hey. So Danny, who's close with Rob and Sarah, and a lot of other people, she's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Actually helped guide my wife in her first SD session.
Nice.
And so when I got our Estes rig, I did not go to like paranormalequipment.com or anything like that. I actually went and grabbed extremely high-end studio quality noise canceling headphones. Like the headphones themselves were like right around 350, 400.
Right, because you want to make sure that nothing else can be heard.
Outside of a gunshot in the same room, you really aren't hearing anything. Like it truly, like I could be 6 feet away from you, having a full volume conversation with you. You slap those things on and power it on, you don't hear a damn thing.
Which is good, because let me tell you, I've done investigations in the past where, say the presenter is offered, hey, does anyone want to try the Estes?
Yeah.
I throw them on, and you can hear them faintly.
You can.
And that faint little bit that you're hearing them could alter your answers.
Oh, 100%, consciously or subconsciously.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. More or less. That's usually what happens to me. But we're doing that. They're doing it down in the main ballroom. I'm upstairs showing people around, everything like that.
Real quick. Hey, Morgan, thanks for watching. That's my girlfriend, by the way. So.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Hey, Morgan. So I come downstairs, and the wife has the headphones on and everything like that. And Danny asks her, like, who's here? Like, right as I'm coming around the corner into the hall. And it drops the name of me and one of the people that was standing next to me. And so she just fires off our names after asking who's here, like who's here with me.
Interesting.
And so right as we come in, they get their names. Russ, what do you got?
Nothing. No, I was
You're doing the,
I thought you were doing this. I assumed you had a thought.
No, because of the Morgan's local. She's just over in Holbrook.
Okay, awesome.
She's actually been to one of the pair fairs we've done, and I believe the expo. I believe too.
I think she went to the expo at Heart Stuff.
Yep.
So, but no, I was just rethinking in my Essie's method I did in the basement, and some of the names and everything I was getting down there and whatnot, and actually seeing some of the recordings that, these other people, that have filmed there.
Sorry, Morgan. I'm terrible at remembering people.
But it's, seeing what people have caught over the time that have actually been not necessarily confirmed, but documented of like, this is what I got, any correlation, things like that. It reminded me a lot of what the Etsy session I had in the basement, because Ian, as you know, the basement isn't a very high traffic area for a lot of people that do investigations, but the people that do, they will get things.
And this is what burns me, right? Is that basement is fucking dead for me, and has been deader than a doornail since day one. I go down there and all I sense is the bats flying around, because every now and again we get a couple of bats down there.
It happens.
And we've had, I think, 4 or 5 investigations over the past 12 months come up from the basement, like all of this shit. Like, they have recordings, they have EVPs, they have the Estes was crazy. Russ, I didn't even know you did an Estes down there.
Yes, sir.
And for like me and 2 others, not a Harstuff Hall, Stacy, in Rockland, get nothing. It is just absolutely, for lack of a better term, a ghost town of ghosts. Like, there is just nothing, no energy, no vibe, no feeling. Like,
it's could you say dead?
Yes, dead as a doornail.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing that Matt already knows. Matt already knows when I get to the hall, I'm beelining for the basement. I love me a creepy basement.
Yeah, see, Morgan says the basement is active, but the attic feels like there's a woman up there. I've never had a woman come through upstairs.
Only
2 guys
males
every
for me.
time.
Only males for me in the attic.
And yeah, it's like,
isn't there a casket in the attic too?
It's a prop casket, yeah.
Oh, it's a prop. So not something worth sleeping in.
No, you wouldn't be able to. It was a ceremonial casket for.
Yeah,
I can't remember which. Was it the Odd? Is it the Odd Fellows group that casket belonged to?
Correct.
But what I always thought was trippy, and that we've had to like restrict access to it now. But there is a room full of Odd Fellows regalia, equipment, ledgers, everything like that.
Such an odd but yet interesting group.
Well, the Oddfellows borrowed the space for a time.
Oh.
And this is where EMFs I think are super cool, is I've gotten so many pings off of cotton shirts. Like,
there's a
just
full skeleton
clothing rack, all the power is cut off, right? So there is no electrical flow to that part of the attic because when you kill the light switch, it's not a backfed electrical system. It's actually a single switch feed. So when you shut it off, there's all the outlets are dead. You get nothing. And that room lights up with EMF like crazy.
Interesting. So correct me if I'm wrong, but if my memory serves me right, the Oddfellows, they used to use like real human skeletons during their rituals to bring people face to face with like their own mortality, correct? Or is that just a myth?
That's the rumor.
There's never been anything substantiated with that.
Yeah, that's why I was curious if you knew anything further on that. I've heard about it, but I don't know if
I mean, if you want, I have a human skull I can bring to the hall for your investigation, and you can come face to face with a real human skull.
I've never held a human skull. I'd be intrigued.
Yeah.
Would you name him Ian?
Bob. Yep. Yep. So there is a scrying table that we have set up there. It's just an old mirror and it's got a ledger in front of it. But that isn't. I think that's something we set up. But no, I'm a fan of science fiction and fantasy literature, and there's a rather long series that I enjoy, and one of the guy's companions is a floating skull named Bob, and so
I feel like I've heard of that.
The Dresden Files.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna jump into something here because this is one of the main reasons I wanted to bring you on, Nate. Was you are about to launch your own podcast that I think might be right up Ian's alley.
I am. So I'm launching a podcast called The Paranormal Unveiled. So basically,
will you be taking your shirt off?
Maybe.
Well, unveiling. I'm just thinking.
Maybe.
Russ knows I'm a consummate pervert, so
I'll run that by Morgan first. If she's okay with it, then I'm cool with it. But
Morgan, be sharing. Yeah, sharing is caring.
It is.
But yeah, so it's going to be a mixture of lighthearted conversation and controversial topics. I've got some people coming on that haven't done podcasts in 5 or 10 years because they've been blacklisted. So I'm giving them an opportunity to come on and speak their side of the story.
Oh, I probably have some folks you could get on there pretty easy.
And I just saw Ian's face light up, and I knew, like I said, I knew it'd be right up his alley.
Yeah. So, well, no, I love that stuff because
it's stuff that needs to be brought to light. And I've also heard different things about different location owners that have been offering certain favors for discounts for tickets, other things like that. It's topics that need to be attacked. It's stuff that needs to be talked about.
Really? So you're telling me I could have got into places for free just with a quick shot in the mouth?
Yeah, most likely.
Fucking hell. And here I'm paying cover charge. Like, what the fuck? We do need to cover these topics because I need to know which ones are going to be cheaper.
I knew they was going. I knew he was going there.
He has to know whether it's a legitimate transaction or if it's a back alley shady deal.
Yeah.
Right. So I won't go into it at the moment. Because these location owners, I've invited them on, so I'm hoping they're not watching this podcast because they have no idea I'm even going to bring it up. So I want to get the genuine reaction.
Well, to be fair, fuck them if they are. Like, if they're doing shady shit.
If they're doing shady shit, they deserve to be called out.
Yeah, and I've only had one of them thus far say that they were going to come on the cast without knowing what the cast was about. The other two have been avoiding me or they just not checked their messages yet, so. What I want to do is I want to kind of do like a lighthearted mixture because like I know Russ is going to come on the show and you're more than welcome to join Russ if you want to come on and talk as well. But
yeah, and if you want me on, we don't have to bring Russ.
Very true.
I mean, his wife never does. So,
but yeah, so I know Russ is coming on, Matt Warner's coming on, Thomas Gormley's coming on, the Perez's, the Radicals.
Hold on one second, just real quick. Interesting tie-in. Nate has a client named Ian, and then she goes, clown. So do you have a clown named Ian or a client named Ian?
I have a haunted clown doll in my closet named Ian.
I hate to derail what we're saying, but the ADHD is killing me. Is it accessible?
I can make it accessible real quick.
Ian wants to see it now. You
if you
got
want
him.
To see it.
If you got him one track right
I'm gonna go refill my coffee real quick. You grab.
Before you grab your coffee, let me tell you the story. The reason his name is Ian. Once again, when my daughter came up, we like running applications, like we like experimenting because she's just getting into the paranormal. She wants to understand it. So we ran three different applications: the iOvilus app, the Ghost Hunting Tools app, and the Ghost Hunter M2 app. All three apps gave us the same name, spelt exactly the same way, which was Ian. That's very rare to come over three different applications at three different times, considering I have nobody in my contacts named Ian.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's,
So
I mean, even if you had them in your contacts, like to have all
it's
three
not a
ping,
common name.
well, it's getting more common.
It
I'll tell you,
is.
I went through
So
all of high school. I knew one other Ian.
so here was the other thing: was when we were running the iOvilus app, right?
Yeah.
I was like, if there's something attached to this, what is your issue? What's going on right now? And I'll tell you this after I grab the clown, and then we'll discuss it. But the three words that came through were sad, broken, and foot. It's very, very important you remember those words because there is a backstory to it.
All right. Sad broken foot.
I'm going to grab the clown.
All right. And I'm going to go grab.
All right, perfect. Well, this gives me a chance here. How's everybody doing out there? Doing good? I hope so. I don't know. Tried to go a little Steve's Blues Clues over there, but it is what it is. No, guys, some great events coming up. I want to bring up some events Get Haunted's doing here. If I can grab it before anybody gets back here real quick. I'm not sure where to. I hope I can find it here real quick because I know Miss Sarah just put out a big posting here. So some Get Haunted events coming up here. March 29th, the Old Franklin County Jail in Chambersburg, PA. 4-5, the Farnsworth House Inn in Gettysburg. 412, Mid-Orange Correctional Facility in Warwick, New York. 426, the McClay Mansion in Harrisburg, PA. 510, the Covenant Tattoo Shop in Deptford, New Jersey. You actually have the chance to get some flash tattoos as well as an investigation there. Then 5-3 to 561 is the Trifecta 2.0. I know my friends down in Kentucky, Denise and Ernie Pack, are running this event. 621 is going to be Missouri State Penitentiary in Jefferson City, Missouri. So definitely check those out. There's definitely something out there for everybody, depending on what location you're in or whatnot. So now that we are back, Ian can meet Ian.
Don't let this blind you, by the way. So,
No worries. No worries. I got the paleness, my friend. The paleness.
So, Danny Perez of the Radicals saw this case in person, and he did not believe me when I told him the case itself weighs about 30-something pounds.
Oh, shit. Okay.
When I got this doll, it's actually my ex's fault. She drove by, saw it sitting by the side of the road, and knowing that I'm into the paranormal, she's like, hey, there's this creepy clown doll up the road if you want to go have a look at it. I drove by it 5 or 6 times, and it was calling to me. So I finally stopped. I knocked on the door. And I was like, what are you guys doing with this clown doll that's out here? And I hear this lady yell, definitely an older woman, from another room, if he wants that god fucking thing, he can have it. Okay, it's coming home. The foot. When I went to pick this up, mind you, this thing is made of ceramic. When I went to pick this doll up, it fell face first. Out of the case. So if it fell face first onto the concrete, why did the face not break? The foot broke. So hence the sad, broken, and foot. Mind you, I've tried every type of glue that I can think of to glue this foot back together, and it will not stay. And I honestly don't know why. But
I'm not gonna lie. This is my jam. Like, fixing shit like that is my jam. And Ian could probably fix Ian.
Yeah, but this right here, the only reason this is here is because I used it as a Halloween display in my Halloween setup, so that way the kids coming through the neighborhood didn't try and grab it.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
This is Ian. The case is completely handmade, acorn roof.
Oh, that is wicked cool.
Extremely, extremely heavy. I don't touch it without gloves on, and if I do touch it,
you got to give it the old wipe down.
I have holy water, so if you want me to take them out of the case, I will. I'm not a fan of it, but I will.
Oh, you don't have to do all that.
But yeah, so this is my haunted clown doll that I've tried to give to Danny Perez 3 times now, and every time we meet up to give it to him, something comes up and we can't do it.
Oh, okay.
So here's the other odd thing about this thing is my brother is extremely chlorophobic. He is deathly afraid of clowns. When we lived in Alabama, there was once I told him I wanted to go to the mall. We went to go to the mall, and I took his ass to the circus.
Fucker.
He was not happy.
No. That's how to end friendships right there. If you wasn't blood, you'd be done.
But he wants this doll in his room. He wants to own it.
Okay.
That's weird to me.
That is a little odd. I'm
Yeah.
actually really, I don't like clowns at all. When that whole like 2011 bullshit happened, when people
with
were
the
out,
random, yeah.
I was like, motherfucker's gonna get shot. I'm not even giving a warning. I'm just putting a bullet right in Bozo. Like,
I'm not even chlorophobic, and I would have.
yeah.
I cosplay as Pennywise. How do you think I felt during that time?
Yeah, right. But no, I like the look of it. It's creepy as fuck. I do like the look of it though.
Yeah, and like I told Danny, you know, this is the case it came in.
Yeah.
I have not modified this whatsoever. This is literally, besides the picture here, is how I found it.
And now
Sight
you're
on
actually
scene,
not
how you
far.
got it.
You're actually not far from us. Are you in Mass?
New
I'm
Hampshire.
in New Hampshire, but about an
Hampshire.
hour and 40 minutes.
Okay. Because I would definitely love to take a run at fixing it for you.
I would definitely give you a shot at it, because I've tried 2-ply epoxy, I've tried ceramic glue, I have tried super glue. Nothing will hold the foot together.
I actually just got a doll not too long ago, and when I received it in the mail, just like that doll, it was all ceramic, and the foot on it was broken. And I gave Ian the doll, and within a day, he's like, "All right, fixed."
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, if I brought it down there and dropped it off or whatever, Morgan could always bring it back on her next visit. So I mean, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I can take a run at fixing it.
I mean, because I would like his foot to be fixed. I would like for him to be whole again. The only time I ever have nightmares is of this clown is typically chasing me up from the basement.
Are you sure you want me to fix his foot?
Right.
Well, that's fine. That's honestly the reason he stays in my closet. That's the reason I don't have him on display, because I feel like if he's out of sight, he's out of mind.
Which comment, Morgan?
Oh,
Yeah.
she was saying she could bring Ian back. You know what? Just fucking bring both of them.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
we'll just leave
specify.
the clown with my wife and let her know she's still got one Ian at the house.
Exactly.
I like it.
Why
But,
not? That's
yeah,
simple.
I love this clown doll. As creepy as it is.
So Nate has a clown. I apologize. My wife just kind of.
Does
My
she
wife
wanna see
entered
it?
the chat. Nate has a clown doll that he had three different devices give him the name Ian at the same time on it, and it's got a broken foot. And then he got what was it? Sad, broken, and foot coming through on it. And sure enough, he drops it and the foot breaks when he first got it. He has tried to fix it multiple times, hasn't been able to do it. So his girlfriend Morgan lives half an hour from here, and we're good to go. Also, Nate, didn't know you were planning on giving Ian to Danny, and I read the doll with him 3 weeks before you brought him in.
I always forget to mention that she told Danny about the doll before me and her ever met.
15 minutes from here. Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's wild.
She told him that she was going to come into or he was going to come into contact with a doll that had a broken foot. She wasn't sure what it was, but she told him about the doll before me and her ever even met.
That's fucking wild. I'm gonna fix that fucking foot, and it's gonna release some weird spirit.
I mean, you know what? You're fixing it in your house. I know where it's going.
Oh, it's in the garage. Not even coming into the house.
Fuck it.
It'll go right into the garage. It's like there's like 14 other ones sitting in there in purgatory in my workshop. So
yeah, so when it comes
It'll be in good company.
When it comes to your style, I know you like the debunking things. My girlfriend got me a rake suit. So I'm going to be having fun breaking down some of these pale crawler and rake videos this summer. When it's nice and warm, I'm going to go out into the woods with a low light camera and show people how easy it is to fake those videos.
Yeah.
And I also got a green screen suit because I have my green screen. So I'm gonna set up my green screen, put on the green screen suit, and I'm gonna show people how you can use chroma key to make objects levitate.
Yep.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna have a lot of fun.
Now I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're able to fake a Pugwudgie, I'll definitely have a ton of respect for you on that one.
That would be amazing.
If you could fake one of those,
I would love to try it. I do know. So I never knew anything about the Pugwudgie until I came up here to New Hampshire because I'm from Alabama. We don't have them down
it's
here.
a super New England thing. It's Appalachia, like New England, like, and the mythos is actually very akin to the old Gaelic and Celtic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here you have the Pugwudgie. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Nate. Sorry. I never heard of Pugwudgies until I moved to the New England area, and I'm from Ohio. So back there, we only had like, you know, the Mothman and, you know, your big ones and everything like that. But like Pugwudgies up here is like crazy.
Who doesn't love the Mothman?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so yeah,
Morgan,
like
you're spot on.
Down south and up in the Minnesota area, because there's two different there's two Indian tribes that believe in the same being. Down south, what you guys call the Pugwudgie, we would call them Emegwese.
Okay.
Very similar beings, kind of dwarfish, and for the record, I have a huge fear of lawn gnomes. So I don't do short things.
Yeah.
So never, I feel like the first time Ian meets me, he's gonna get me with a fucking lawn gnome.
No, I would not put it past him.
No. I'm not like that.
No, but I hate lawn gnomes. So
but I also kind of am. So
I see Pugwudgies like as a lawn gnome per se, like the size wise, and yeah, I want to see one personally. I want to go out to the Freetown State Forest and investigate for one because I know that they're very well known to be seen there. But I also kind of want to. I also want to go to that forest because I want to investigate the satanic cult killings as well to see if there's any spirits left over from that.
So this is, for those of you who are curious, these are the Pugwudgies.
Russ, how in the hell did you get a picture of my sister?
Oh,
dude, I mean,
Russ
I had to scour.
But yeah, so this is the Pugwudgie. I don't know why it's not letting me
maximize it.
Here, let me see.
And aren't they known to carry like little spears that have poison tips and?
That really is. That's going to be like flavored.
Okay.
Like that's gonna be really your kind of local area flavor,
depending how you want to spin the legend.
Yeah. However,
I've kind of decided that I want a tattoo of a Pugwudgie now.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty cool. They're pretty chill as long as they're well fed and you're not fucking with their house.
They look like hairier gremlins.
Okay, so well fed, you don't fuck with their house. That really reminds me of the Tokelos in Africa.
Yeah, so it's actually not dissimilar. But you figure it's like they kind of keep to themselves. If you're in their territory, they may fuck with you a little bit. They're very tricksy, very much like a standard Celtic fae or cryptid.
So basically my spirit animal.
Yeah, they're a bit like a brownie almost.
Oh yeah.
They're so even in the lore, they're essentially just like a pissed off brownie. Like they're like a more hostile.
You know what? I could see that.
Brownie. Oh, Morgan, no way. Wisps are just straight up evil.
Yeah.
Wisps are the farrier of children's souls to the other side.
Yeah.
Super evil. Yeah. But no, I'm big into like the mythology of the Celtic Isles and things like that. And so
that's something I would definitely love to discuss with you further after the cast or whatever. Like maybe not tonight because I'm fully interested in that.
Yeah, I mean it's really interesting and it's funny having grown up. No, Pugwudgies are kind of mixy. They're tricksy. They're not super.
There's a difference.
Yeah, they're not super trustworthy. No. But they're not like straight up malicious. Like they aren't actually like surviving on souls.
Okay, so Morgan, they're like my brother. Okay, he's fun to play with, but I wouldn't loan him $20.
I mean,
that's fair.
Sorry.
That's
But no, like having grown up with a lot of the mythos and the stories of like leprechauns, sprigs, will-o-wisps, fairies, and things like that, and to be then kind of not transplanted, because I've been here pretty much my entire life, but then to be exposed to like the Americanization of everything, like the unicorn and the fairy and the pixie and everything's like, oh, everything's like pink and sparkly, and no,
Not the
those
way
are
it
all
works.
like murder creatures. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
like the
It's-
Elfenkönig is not like
It's
a
like how
healthy dude.
exactly what you're saying is like how Twilight made vampires sparkle.
You know, I blame what was her name? Was it not Anne Rice? Who did Interview with a Vampire?
I thought that was Anne Rice.
I thought that was
Okay,
Anne
it is
Rice.
Anne Rice. All right, I wasn't sure. I doubted myself on that one. But
I thought-
Lestat is the whole reason any of that shit exists.
Holy shit.
Like
I would have
Lestat's
never put that together.
it's the archetype. Like it really is. Like if you look at it, like Lestat is just
that
this
flamboyant, like
this like flared individual who's
Why
just
did
going
you have
through
to
time.
ruin that book for me?
What?
You've ruined that book for me now. But it's okay, because you know what? It makes sense.
If I'm really going to ruin something when it comes to Twilight, we can talk about how My Chemical Romance is actually 100% responsible for 50 Shades of Grey, which brings in Twilight as well.
I'm fine with that because fuck MCR and fuck 50 Shades of Grey. So
yeah, well, but Twilight lands right in the middle of it because 50 Shades of Grey started as fan fiction based on Twilight, which was based on the experience the author of Twilight had through the My Chemical Romance songs.
So Russ, this is what you were talking about earlier, how
which was then started by 9/11.
Russ is like, I've lost control. I don't know what's going on.
It all started at 9/11, man. The lead singer of My Chemical Romance watched 9/11 happen from the street. He went on to create My Chemical Romance. He had a song that inspired the writing of Twilight, and then Twilight inspired fan fiction, which would inevitably turn into 50 Shades of Grey.
Russ, anything?
Some nation of tonight.
Train's leaving the station.
Apps are bullshit. Puckwidgies are malicious garden gnomes. We're gonna see Nate crawling around in woods in a rake suit before too much longer.
Which is amazing.
And
what's wrong with that?
And Lestat is a vampire Liberace.
I mean, that's actually not a bad analogy because, I mean, there was some questionable sexuality occurring with some of the people he turned because there was definitely some tension.
But you know what, Russ? With your
what else can we ruin? What else can we ruin for Nate tonight?
With your summarization there, I can tell you this: I have been on podcasts where a lot more boring. So,
hey, we've never had a lull in conversation.
You've already been on for an hour 5.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I always enjoy coming on and talking with Russ anyway, but adding you into the mix, you know, it's a different dynamic. But I'm here for it.
Yep.
I feel like I shouldn't even
chapters.
I feel like I shouldn't have even been here tonight. I mean, like you and Ian could have carried this show like no problem at all.
So you're telling us that you were the pivot man?
I was the common ground.
He was the lucky Pierre, as it were. He was the one sandwiched between us.
You know, you could have jumped in at any time, Russ.
I could have, but
the host.
Well, no, I am the co-host.
Okay, well, you are the co-host, but you can still co-host. You could jump in and be like, "Hey, no."
I do.
I know. I'm just fucking with you, buddy.
But normally I get the hold on a second. Hold on.
No. Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh.
This is so unfair. The first night I'm not sipping whiskey on our show.
Right?
What somebody in our comments are.
You're blaming the whiskey again?
I guess Morgan has watched the show before, Ian.
That is fair. That is fair. Normally I
whiskey, or
only
she might
make
be
it through
drinking
2 or
whiskey
3 old fashions.
Because I got her hooked on drinking Jameson and ginger ale with orange bitters.
Ooh. I'm not a big Jameson fan, to be completely honest.
But
I think it's one of the honestly, I think it's one of the worst
so
Irish whiskeys out there.
my son's name is Jameson.
Yep.
And no, I did not name him after the alcoholic drink. I didn't start drinking Jameson until after he was born. But when his grandmother went to Ireland, she brought me back a bottle of Jameson from the distillery.
That's wildly different. That is a completely different alcohol than the
Oh,
Jameson you buy on the
completely
shelf.
different.
Yes,
And
that
she,
is.
and she told me exactly how they mix it over there.
Yep.
She said they take it, you put it, if you want to add ginger ale, you do. But instead of using lime or lemon like a lot of people do here in the US, they use
Yep.
orange slices. So you
Yep.
squeeze the orange in, you drop the orange peel in, you stir it up, and you add 3 or 4 shots of orange bitters. And I've mixed it that way ever since.
Now I'll let you take it up one more notch, right? Because this is I drink whiskey. That is like my go-to. I like every birthday, anybody ever gets me a gift, it's always whiskey. Like that's just how it is. So 6 dashes of bitters. I like maraschino cherries. There's arguments against it, everything like that.
They're good in whiskey. They're good.
Well, because people prefer to use black cherries in an old fashioned. So
okay, fair enough.
6 dashes, 2 maraschino cherries. Use a tablespoon, right? Like a deep socket tablespoon to pull your cherries out. And don't be shy about getting the juice because that's going to replace your simple syrup.
Right. That
So
just
you
makes
just
sense.
dump it in there and you use the like a tablespoon and a half of the maraschino cherries, all that over ice, and you use like a Woodford Reserve or a Tullamore Dew or something like that.
So
like
a darker whiskey, not like a clear whiskey.
Those are clear whiskeys.
They are. I've never really experienced too much with whiskeys outside of Jameson that are clear whiskeys, so I'm not sure.
Well, Jameson is like a pale whiskey.
It's pale, but it's almost clear. Almost.
So
you can hold it up and see through it, at least.
I would suggest this. Next time you're hitting up a store, grab Proper 12.
Okay.
It's Conor McGregor's Irish whiskey. He nailed it. And honestly, its price point right now is way lower than it should be.
Okay.
It punches up. It is much better. Like it's a $30 bottle.
We stop at the liquor store every Thursday on the way home from work, and we've passed right by it, so we don't have to go out for the weekend. So,
yeah, grab you a bottle of Proper 12, man. I'll tell you, it makes some of the best old fashions you can have.
I'll give it a shot.
It's a nice, super clean, not a lot of bite, not a lot of burn.
So it could be one of those that even if I didn't want to do an old fashioned, I could probably put it over ice and sip.
Oh hell yeah! 100%.
See, I'd be good with that.
Yeah, that like I love a good Woodford Reserve. That was my go-to for years. And then just I got a hair across my ass about the Proper 12. I saw it; it was on special. I looked at it, saw it was Conor McGregor, and I'm like, fucking Mick. If he doesn't do this right, he's gonna get kicked out of our country. Like it's not
fair enough.
Like, I mean, he's got too much of a profile to put out a shit whiskey. So
true.
So I gave it a go, and the boy did good.
I'll definitely give it a shot. I'll definitely give it a shot off of your recommendation. But yeah, so like I said, that whiskey comment could have been because I got her hooked on drinking Jameson with orange.
Jameson and ginger, yeah. I mean, it's so funny is I was never a big fan of anything with ginger. So like the mules and everything like that, I've never really gotten into them.
I was never a fan of like, what is it, the Moscow Mule?
Yeah, no,
never a fan. I don't like candied ginger, for one.
Yep.
For one, candied ginger is disgusting, and anyone who eats it is a psychopath.
Yeah, 100%. It's like licorice. I don't. Anybody that likes black licorice, I don't. Oh God, you know they have actually done studies that prove you are far more likely to be a psychopath if you like black licorice. There's like a direct correlation.
Sir, I never said I wasn't.
I'm not making accusations. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But yeah, no, I love black licorice. My favorite though is actually a black licorice that I have found that I get imported from Australia.
Okay.
It doesn't taste really like black licorice. It's weird. It's a completely different flavor, and it's really soft. It's not that chewy, rubbery texture that you get if you go out to the store and buy some Twizzlers black licorice.
Yeah.
It's a soft, chewy texture. It's not as pungent, and it's more sweet.
Okay, so I like star anise, which is a problem. Like I enjoy star anise as a spice, which should be the base of a licorice.
Yes.
But like the black licorice is just
So
100% Morgan, 100%. If you
So-
like black licorice, you're one of those people that fucking add the milk before the cereal.
I don't eat cereal anyways, so. Or Morgan, we'll talk about that later when we're off this podcast, because them's fighting words.
Now, y'all
Uh-oh.
can talk about breakfast on your own time.
No,
Right?
you know that I love her to death.
All right,
yeah,
Ian. So you got anything else?
Give me 5 more minutes. We'll be talking about
Whatever the fuck comes up.
something wild. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I'm not going to be surprised if we start talking about the annexation of Puerto Rico.
The greatest play ever to grace the football field?
Ever.
Nate, do you have any idea what we're talking about right now?
I'm going to act like I do, but no the fuck I don't.
It's from a movie called Little Giants.
Oh, fuck! Rick Moranis.
Yep.
Yeah, Rick Moranis. And the annexation of Puerto Rico is the final play where they give the little tiny dude the ball and let him run it down.
Look, with all the wild shit Trump's been doing, I literally thought he was trying to annex Puerto Rico when y'all said that. I never even went to fucking.
Well, all right, so we try not to get super.
Yep.
No. I'm not going to say it. All right, yeah, Russ is going to leave.
Nope. That was my fault.
No. But Nate, what I'll say this is, I will say it wouldn't shock me if we did find out that current administration is trying to annex Puerto Rico.
Yeah, because I am not a political person.
Despite it already having been annexed.
I don't even vote. So.
Oh, I hate everybody. I hate everybody in Washington.
I hate everyone equally.
Yeah. Like I couldn't be bothered to differentiate.
Let's get off that topic. I could tell Russ got uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, no. So we have a rule. At any point, we can drop ourselves or somebody else if we know we're going to say something. So
it's a very slippery slope,
or like where we know we'll get in trouble for saying it.
Okay, well then that's my fault, and I apologize for bringing up the topic.
No, it's not your fault. I just do it at least once a show, just to
remind everybody we will.
Right?
No, well, I actually, we were talking about. I can't remember what we were talking about when I first did it. Russ was getting riled up, and like he started to talk, and I just removed him from stage real quick, and like you could just see like the moment of realization in the background of like him being like, oh yeah, I was about to say some shit, and then he brought himself back on and was like, yeah, we're just getting off, we don't want to say anything to really piss anybody off.
But yeah, but you know, if you have anybody that's interested in coming on my podcast, like I said, I'm going to sprinkle in the controversy with lighthearted conversation, so that way there's an equal balance.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for controversy, Matt's your guy.
Hence the reason he's my second show.
Yeah, he knows about all. He's tied into that drama.
I made it a point to have him within the first 4 guests, and I did that for a reason.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not your controversy guy.
I don't know if you knew that or not, Ian, but Matt actually wrote the foreword for my book.
Oh, did he really?
He did. And let me tell you,
this spell checked it, right?
Huh?
You did a quick spell check, right? Yeah.
I plead the fifth, but I can tell you that this is how good of a guy Matt is. I told him when I go to Paracons and I start selling the book or whatever, I was willing to offer him X percentage of the sales. It's only fair. He wrote the foreword.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I'll give you what? I said 15 to 20%, because I didn't write the book to make a profit. I wrote the book for education. And he told me, nope, that's your baby. I don't want anything.
He's probably going to, I mean, realistically, the only way you can repay him now is to sleep with him and add to his red flag book.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's it. I mean, you put yourself in that position. I didn't choose it for you. That's what happened.
I did not know about this position beforehand.
I
So you're
think
about to find a new position.
well, you know what? I don't, Nate. This is why you always read the fine print
There was no fine print. I asked him to write the forward. He said, "Man, I got you." And
that
I
you
think like a
saw.
week and a half later, he had it to me, and I'm like, "I'm good with it." And we put it. But yeah, so he wrote the forward for my book, and let me tell you, he really is. He's an amazing dude, and so many people give him such a bad rap because, you know, he's straightforward. He's blunt. That doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And again, like it's funny is Matt and I have a lot of the same beliefs. Like we have the same perspectives and shit like that. He's just more forward in the community. And so he ends up like he has taken quite a few hits over it.
Oh, I'm
But
sure.
also like, you know, I'm more tactical. Like I'm a slow burn kind of person. Like some of the shit I say is like
It'll
you
hit you
walk
hours
away
later.
and yeah, like Russ has seen me do it where it's just like I'll say
Seeing
something
you,
and then
seeing
like
you, it's happened to
2
me.
hours later.
I have gotten revenge on my brother for something that he did to me 7 years prior.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm
worth
not
the
petty.
wait.
I just don't forget things.
It's worth the wait.
Yeah. I savor it. It's enjoyable.
Exactly. And when it happens, so that whole thing actually involved another clown. And Russ, if I have like 2 minutes to tell this quick story, my brother's gonna hate me for it, but it's hilarious.
Well, honestly, Nate, we have no one coming up behind us on purpose. So we have all the time in the world. I think until 11.
Okay, sweet. But I'm not gonna take up too much of you guys' time, honestly. But so as I told you earlier, my brother's chlorophobia, right? Definitely afraid of clowns. So he goes out to the bar with a buddy of mine, James Maxey. And they're out playing poker. My brother's really good at poker. He's actually extremely good at it. And I don't know why he doesn't try and pursue that as a career. Well, for one, he might be kind of broke right now. But either way, he comes home from the bar and he is completely hammered. I had I do a lot for Halloween. Like if I can decorate for Halloween, I go all out. I made a haunted walkthrough in Alabama that had like an entrance way. You walk through the whole thing
That's
with strobe
awesome.
lights. Oh, I love Halloween. Halloween is my Christmas. Well, one of the clown masks that I had ended up getting mold on the inside of it. So I wanted to soak it in bleach water. My mother would not let me put it in the tub. So I put it in the bleach water next to the toilet. My brother comes home 2:30 in the morning, shit-faced. Turns on the light, walks over, hand on the wall, starts taking a piss, looks down as the clown staring at him out of a bucket of water. We hear this ungodly scream. And he's out of the bathroom. 5 minutes later, my buddy Maxie goes in there. He's like, "Yo, Craig, did you piss on the fucking floor?" It is all over the place.
Yeah.
The best unintentional prank I've ever pulled, but it was well worth it.
I'm not gonna lie, I was half expecting you to say that like you flushed the toilet a few times, bleached up the toilet, and we're using the toilet as the basin. And then that's what was gonna happen.
No, I'm worse than that. My ex-brother-in-law found that out. We got into a prank war one night. I went to work. I used to work overnights. I would go into work at 10 p.m. and get off at 7 a.m. For the record, that shift sucks.
Yeah.
So neighbors looking at you weird because you're outside day drinking at 8 o'clock. You know what?
You have the beer at 8 a.m.
Mind your business. Leave me alone. So my ex-brother-in-law decided to take my beer. He opened them up and took 2 of them, which I told him if I'm not there and it's in the fridge, he's more than welcome to it, right? He decided to take Vaseline. He Vaselined every single beer in the fridge.
That's fucking amazing.
I go and I grab it and I go to open it, slips right out of my hands. And I don't know if anyone out there has ever tried to wash off cold Vaseline.
Yeah, that's like
Doesn't work.
That shit ain't coming off.
It does not come off. So what I decided to do a few weeks later was I emptied out about a quarter bottle of his shampoo and body wash, and I put icy hot to fill up the rest and shook it up pretty good. Unfortunately for him, it was his girlfriend that used the body wash.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
You hear this scream from the bathroom that woke me up from a dead sleep. Mind you, in Alabama, I slept through tornado sirens, so it takes a lot to wake me up. I come out thinking someone's dying, and all I hear, and I don't even know if I can say this on air, but oh my God, my vagina's on fire.
Oh, I routinely say cunt, Nate.
Well, still,
Like, it's,
I try to watch what I say.
yeah, we are TVMA.
Trust me, when we upload the episodes, it's not kid friendly. Trust me, I never.
Yeah, but Russ knows I'm very respectful. I try my best to watch what I say. And so he comes down the hallway and he looks, he's like, what the fuck did you do? I was like, well, I may or may not have put about 3 tubes of icy hot in your body wash. He was like, that's it. Prank war's over. You win.
It's an amazing word, Morgan. It's a great word.
Besides when it's dropped with the unsuspecting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the best. Like when you're just in a group of people and everyone's having a great time and like no one sees it coming and you're just like, quit being a cunt.
Well, and everyone's just like, compliment.
But I will say this. I used to be a big pranker. I used to pull like absurd, large scale pranks on people. Russ has received one of my like more mild pranks. And one of the greatest joys of my life was 2 days ago, my son saying, April Fool's is coming up, Dad. I'm going to prank you. And I got to say back, like, all right, so are we doing this, bud?
Game on.
And now my wife is just like, you don't want the smoke? Like, kid, sit down. Like, you don't know who your dad was. Like, this is like, you're bringing something back in him that like, we're all glad has died.
He's reformed.
You're resurrecting a beast.
Oh, well, like most of the time the pranks left my wife in shambles.
Oh,
like we had a roommate at one point that was staying with us. And 2 years later, I'm working at a collection agency. I had one of my guys call her to tell her that there was a $50,000 credit card that she co-signed for our old roommate. I didn't know she was at her grandparents' house when it happened. And she had a fucking mental breakdown thinking she was 50 grand in debt on a fraudulent credit card bill that the roommate pulled out on her name.
So real quick, Russ, can I run to the mini fridge real quick and grab a beer?
I think we're actually going to pop off here. Yep. I think Russ is a bit under the weather.
That one right there, that's like next level, and I love it.
Oh, dude, that's like mid-tier for me.
That's mid-tier.
I have much to learn, Sensei.
Oh, dude, I had my wife convinced I was killed by robbers. Yeah. Oh yeah,
I definitely have much to learn, and
Ian, my pranks get fucked.
We actually, guys. No. Actually, this gave me an idea. Because I've been trying to think of new concepts for the show and new topics and things like this. We will come on and do a prank war. Like a recollection.
Don't want that?
No, not on each other, dumb. Let me finish.
I was about to say that
doesn't sound like recollection of what you've done in the past and the outcomes and shit like that.
Therapy for my wife, mostly.
Well, obviously, she needs that just being with you.
I shot my brother as a prank once. That was fun.
Yeah. So, but look, guys. I mean, I would. Obviously, Russ is already coming on the podcast. Ian, if you want to join him, I will get with my producer because we're on a different network. So I'm not sure what we can and cannot say. I want to clarify that first, just so you guys have a warning.
Sure. Oh, I can get clean. I can go PG, PG, PG-13.
I just want to make sure that it's a full go. You know what I mean? If it's a full go,
you may see Ian over here in the corner going, I need to say it.
Oh, no, I'm far more eloquent than that. I can swear without swearing.
That's a gentleman's way.
Indeed. Indubitably.
Indubitably. I love that word.
But, he is a walking thesaurus of profanity.
That's okay. But yeah, like I would love.
I'm getting threatened already.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, Morgan said I'm local. I will find you, Ian, with some eyeball emojis.
Yeah, but I mean, if you really want to do a show about like the different pranks I've done, you can bring on my niece, you can bring on my wife, you can bring on a couple of buddies of mine, because they remember all of them way better than I do, because For them, the day I pranked them was the worst day of their life. But for me, it was just a Tuesday.
Well respected. I have much to learn.
Nobody get the quote on that one? The day M. Bison visited your village was the most important day of your life. For me, it was a Wednesday.
You got me at a loss here on this one.
You
Oh, the
got me
Street
on this
Fighter
one.
movie, guys. The Street Fighter movie.
Okay.
That movie was horrible. Why would anyone?
Oh,
remember
it's so
anything
bad.
first?
It's so bad. It's beautiful.
No, it is it is tantamount my top 3 worst movies of all time.
No. Well, so all right. I will say this, right? It is a bad movie. However, it is Raul Julia is amazing in that movie, start to finish, especially because he was actively dying of pancreatic cancer while filming.
Yes, but only that one person.
And that's who I just quoted. Like it's so amazing. He does such a great job in that film.
It didn't click in my mind because not even Jean-Claude Van Damme could save that movie. Like it didn't even click in my mind.
Yeah, like you don't think about Jean-Claude Van Damme when you think about that movie. You think about Raul Julia. Like if you watch that movie, it's all Raul Julia, and I can't remember her name, the one that plays Chung-Li. They're the only ones that deliver even a remotely good performance.
I just think about it as a completely forgettable movie, so I don't even think about it.
I just want to know why they thought Jean-Claude Van Damme should have been Guile. That's it.
Why is he
Guile?
That is a legitimate question that needs answered.
Sitting in the fucking hallway. Why is he Guile? Like,
no, that needs answered because that was a horrible choice.
I mean, he could have been Ken. He could have been Ryu. He could have been any of them. He could have been fucking Baraka. All right. Good night, Ross.
All right, Ross. We're wrapping up, brother.
All right.
So you and your raccoon up there can snuggle.
Hey, don't knock Rocky. All right, he's helpful.
I'm not knocking Rocky at all, bro. Not at all.
All right, Nate. Tell everybody where they can find you.
No, before I do, I got to squash this real quick. Morgan, all I'm going to say is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Please. Are we really rating bad movies? Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That's all I have to say. You want to trash on Street Fighter?
Toxic Avenger.
I mean that's a great bad movie though. Like
that's an awesome bad movie.
It's an awesome bad movie, but it's still so cringy.
It's right up there with Howard the Duck.
Oh, Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting off on a tangent, guys.
Yep. All right, we got to say goodnight, guys.
All right, Nate, tell everybody where they can find you in a real quick.
Yeah, you can find me on TikTok at Static Voices. You can find me on Twitter at Paranormal Nate. You can find me on YouTube at Static Voices. You can find me on Facebook at Nathaniel Elwell. You can catch me July 12th and 13th, Connecticut Paracon, the Paranormal Convention and True Crime Conference. July 18th and 19th, I'll be at the Paranormal Rockdown in Broadhead Manor in Wisconsin. September 6th and 7th, I'll be joining Russ at the Maine Paranormal and Horror Convention. November 15th and 16th, I'll be at an event in Salem, Massachusetts, but I have not been yet given the permission to announce that event.
Well, Ian will also be with us at the Maine Paranormal and Horror Con.
Nice.
We're going to be doing live broadcasts and everything from the event and everything. So
I know what I'm crashing now.
There you go. By all means, come over and crash.
Oh, dude, I will definitely come over and have a conversation with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm going to look forward to it. And again, I'm happy to, excuse me, happy to take a crack at fixing Ian. I've already been fixed, so I might as well fix him.
I'll definitely make sure that we can make that happen.
Awesome.
If I have to, I'll force the girlfriend to drive him back home. She's not going to like that because she's not a fan. So
she already offered.
Kids are comfortable in the trunk, so
he won't fit in the trunk.
She already offered to bring him back home anyway. So
yeah, I had to strap him in the back seat with a seatbelt because he won't fit.
Ians are also fans of straps, so it's okay.
Dear God. You know what? I love your style, brother. I love your style.
Hey,
and on that note, everybody.
Russ, your outro, buddy.
But Russ,
right.
Ian, I want to thank you guys for having me on.
No, thank you for coming on.
Conversation, man. And anytime you guys want to have me back, you are more than welcome to ask. Russ, you know how to reach me. Ian, you know how to reach me, I think.
I'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Russ, I love you, brother, and thank you guys for having me on.
Thank
All
you.
right, we'll talk to you soon, Nate. All right, everybody, that was Nate Elwell. Next week, we actually have a guest coming up that I'm very excited to talk to. We have Joe Frankie from the Warren's Legacy Foundation coming on and talking all about Ed and Lorraine Warren, the pioneers of the paranormal field, so to say. So definitely be some good information there. Joe grew up under the protege or under the teachings of Ed and Lorraine, so it'll definitely be a great time to talk to him next week. So, excuse me. But until then, guys, it was awesome seeing everybody, and stay tuned for next week. Ian?
Stay blessed.
The first annual Maine Paranormal and Horror Con is coming to Maine on September 6th and 7th at the Augusta Civic Center. Come meet your favorite paranormal investigators, cryptid hunters, and horror icons. Special guests include John Zaffis, the haunted collector from Sci-Fi, Jeff and Willie from Mountain Monsters, Bob Elmore Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, CJ Graham, also known as Jason Voorhees from Jason Lives Part 6, Ronnie LeBlanc from Expedition Bigfoot, and many more to be announced. Tickets are on sale now. Go to mainparahorror.com to get your tickets and VIP packages now. For more information, check out Maine Paranormal and Horror Con on Facebook and Instagram.